back in action. And since he returned to MLS action, he can't stop scoring braces.
Yeah, 5 now with multiple goals for Lionel Messi in Major League Soccer. I will say it helps when the goalkeeper gives you the ball. The opposing goalkeeper just says, like, here you go, Joe Willis, trying to play out of the back, makes a pretty poor decision with the ball and gives Lionel Messi an opportunity to finish, which he took. I don't know what this means. Nashville's still a good team. I mean, they're still going to be a contender for something, maybe an MLS Cup final. But Miami is proving that they're not going to just go away. I mean, the challenges they have with their schedule and coming off of the Club World Cup experience, I think that's still something that you worry about, I guess, if you're an Inter Miami fan. The transfer window for Major League Soccer, the secondary window, does not open until late this month, and you only end up with 9 post window game or 9 games once the window opens for that player to make a difference in the regular season. Now Miami's up to 5th in the Eastern Conference, but again, it is spread out because of the Club World Cup, but they haven't lost in a while in the league, and they still have 3 games in hand on everybody ahead of them. So what is possible? Is Inter Miami on the path to winning that points title again, being a Supporter Shield winner? I don't know. And you do wonder if Javier Mascherano has to be careful. Lionel Messi keeps playing 90 minutes. He keeps playing full games despite his age and despite all the soccer that they have been involved with. Like, it's kind of crazy, don't you think? That and I guess it just says that if Messi wants to play, he plays. Doesn't matter who the coach is. And I think it was pointed out maybe by Matt Doyle on Blue Sky that the guy who did try to manage Messi's minutes, Tata Martino, is no longer there. Meanwhile, his boy, his fellow Argentino, Javier Mascherano, is like, nah, brother, you can play as much as just stay out there, Leo. It's okay. It's okay.
If you want to play, you play. And that 5th, 6th brace in a row, Inter Miami 2, Nashville 1, a whole full schedule of Major League Soccer games over the weekend. Looking at the table, kind of tuning back in, I can't lie that, focus has been obscured by the Gold Cup and with the Club World Cup and local soccer, to be fair, in my case. But Philadelphia, top spot in the East, but for having a quote-unquote bad start to the season with the new coaching and the reshuffling of the deck in Miami, with the games in hand, they could well be in first place. I mean, the talk of their downfalls maybe been a little bit exaggerated.
Well, look, I think last year showed that if you're excellent during the regular season and you win the points title, it doesn't mean anything in the playoffs, right? Obviously, that was Miami's problem, and this is what I'm interested in. Whether or not Mascherano is going to have a different approach to the latter half of the season, the latter end of the season, because last year it didn't go well when they went up against Atlanta, right? So that part is interesting to me. I don't know if there's going to be a difference in the way they handle things, or if they're going to bring in anybody, if they can, under the budget to bring anybody. I just think this is a season that is proving that MLS is extremely competitive. Philly's at the top of the table, combined table right now on 43 points after bouncing back. They had 2 losses in a row and they had dropped down to 3rd. They beat the Red Bulls. They go back top. Cincinnati loses to Columbus in the Hell is Real Derby match 4-2 in their own building. They're in 2nd place behind Philly by a point. Nashville loses to Inter Miami, so they're now in 3rd. Columbus with their win, and they haven't lost in a while after a little bit of a bump. They're up to 41 points, and they're in 4th. And I think that was a statement win over Cincinnati. Yeah, again, we talked about Miami, who's in 5th and 3 points back of Columbus, but has games in hand on everybody. I do think there's a gap between those 5 teams and everybody else in the East, which is Orlando, NYCFC, Red Bull, Charlotte, Chicago, New England. These are all not the best teams. Out West, it's a little different. Like, I don't know who's good. San Diego is continuing to play good enough to be in first. They jumped over Vancouver a couple weeks ago or a week ago. Now they're in first. Are they going to stick that out? Are they going to be that good the rest of the way to win the West or be the top seed in the West? Can they challenge for a Supporter Shield? Right, they're 1 point off right now in terms of the Supporter Shield race. I think Minnesota United is good. And by the way, Minnesota United, well, they're pretty good, and they have this reputation for being incredibly aggressive on set pieces. There's a very good article by John Mueller at the Guardian that outlines how Minnesota United is the most aggressive set piece taking team in the world. And this includes long throw-ins. They are like a massive outlier in terms of throwing the ball into the box whenever possible and taking every free kick they have and putting it in the box. So where most teams will maybe get a restart in their own half and, short pass and try to maintain possession, they'll bring the goalkeeper up and they'll lump it in the box and they'll just put pressure on the defenders to figure out how to deal with this stuff. I think that's a fascinating thing. Vancouver has hit some bumps. Obviously, the Gold Cup was not kind to Vancouver because they were missing some important players during that period, Rob. So, that can they get back to it with everybody back and potentially healthy? Seattle, Portland, LAFC. I mean, I don't know. You don't know to make of anybody else in the Western Conference right now. Again, San Diego is proving that they belong in the conversation for the best team in the league, which is a surprise. And yes, Nate is correct. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody. And could they be a Chicago Fire circa 1998 kind of story? We shall see.
Just like blocking or knocking the barn doors down. And yeah, surprise of the season, some pretty familiar teams near the top. I'd say both conference leaders are a bit of a surprise coming in. It's pretty dour sort of camp in Philadelphia leading into the season with the change in coaching. And then top in the West, San Diego, people didn't see that coming. No one saw Vancouver being in touching distance of the top either. So kind of an odd 2025 season thus far, over halfway.
Yeah, well, let me also acknowledge some of the news that came out since you and I were last together, and that's that Troy Lesesne was fired by DC United after the Open Cup loss, although everybody who tracks DC and follows that team and covers them, Stephen Goff and other people, say that was not the reason he was fired, was not the Open Cup loss. He was fired because they were looking to fire him for a while, and they identified a replacement for him in the last couple of days. Renee Weiler is coming in. Apparently, I think that's the reports. I'm not sure if that is officially official, meaning announced by the team. But that's the next coach to go. You wonder if there's anybody else who might be on the hot seat. I do think things have gone really sour in New England under Caleb Porter, and you wonder if he's overstaying his welcome. Lots of teams have already made decisions at the bottom of the table in each conference. I hope Eric Quill figures it out because I don't want to see him lose his job in Dallas, although I think Dallas is a team that doesn't really want to make a change unless they absolutely, absolutely have to. And they're going through a weird transitional period anyway. So I don't know. It's that part, right? The hot seat, and whether or not there is enough pressure on MLS managers is always a question. I think that has gone up in recent years. I don't know the number this year compared to say last year, the year before, but I do think more clubs are willing to make changes when things are not going the way they want.
Further look at MLS probably come in the next week or two as the focus shifts after these big international tournaments are done. But until we get to our next segment, let you guys know if you're watching this now, haven't hit subscribe, what you waiting for? Closing in on 2,900 subscribers to the channel, so you can be the next one. If you want to kick up your support just a notch, $3.99 a month, become an MK Ultra A subscriber to the channel, and you get access to the Discord server. Great conversations going on there about all the different levels of American soccer. You can also support on coffee.com/morningkickaround, which has some specific goals and fundraiser targets in mind over there. Thank you to everyone and anyone who has chipped in, whether through memberships or through the coffee. Shout out to Soccer Night in Detroit saying he re-upped for his second month of membership. So thank you so much there. If you want to follow along on social media at mkickaround on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, you can write us an email, morningkickaround@gmail.com, or look us up on your favorite podcast platform, Morning Kick Around, to listen to us as a podcast. All right, we're going to catch our breath and come right back with our big question with the help of Jack Grimsey here on Morning Kick Around.